Hey everyone, this is Lasha. It's like Tasha but with an L, just so you know. Today is a very good day. Um, I have been, by the way, this is, Adventures in Houselessness with my daughter and myself. We have been homeless now for, let's see, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Today is the the 29th. So about 7 days we've been officially locked out of our home for various reasons. It was a 2-year fight that I lost. And we are going through the process of transitioning to living as nomads for the next few months. And we're doing so with help of the county until we get into a shelter, or find other housing. Temporarily, all shelters are closed or full in Los Angeles County. And my daughter is around the downtown Los Angeles area for where she goes to school. So keeping her life, her little insular life right there was very important to me. So I'm doing that, making sure that that's as stable as possible. She's been going to the same school for almost 3 years and she loves it and she's thriving, and I didn't want that to change. And so I knew that this was going to be a big transition for us. So I started planning early. I started planning months in advance. If we were going to lose this fight, I wanted us to be ready, because before we moved into this home, we were homeless before. We lost our home in the Calabasas fires just around that time period, and we were put into a shelter in downtown Los Angeles. Shout out to Salvation Army. It's on. Awesome place. For a shelter, it is an amazing place for families who are trying to transition off the streets. So we were there for about 9 months, and we found the apartment that we just moved out of, and we were there for 4 years. So I'm kind of prepared for what this kind of lifestyle would look like, and I began planning for it as much as I could, as much as one can. I began planning for it in advance, months in advance. I had to put together money for storage. We have to, because we are going to get another place eventually someday, but we cannot lose the things that we have. Even though they're just material, they still meant a lot to us because we had been building over the last 4 years. So I saved up for storage. I saved up for movers because I have a severe amount of disabilities that don't allow me to do much of anything without some help. So we arranged for movers, storage. Thankfully, the young ladies on one of my Facebook groups got together, and we were able to find an organizer, professional organizer, donated their time and a significantly reduced rate and time because of what we were going through and all the things that I needed, and I just needed to pare down. I was a mess, as you guys can see from my previous videos. I was a total mess, and I still kind of am at times. But I'm not looking at this now as a negative situation. I don't really think I looked at it negative before. My fear was the unknown and not knowing where we're going to land, not knowing if we're going to have enough money to eat, if we're going to be able to get through the day. So cut to where we are now. We have spent, for the first 7 days, I was with family. We had the Thanksgiving holiday season. So I was with my mother, my father, my grandfather, generationally in my mother's house, and we stayed there for a few days. We moved back with my father to his home, where the plan was to stay there and stay there have my daughter stay there while I started looking for transitional housing or living nomadically with friends and staying on couches and trying to figure things out as we go along. But she would be stable. Unfortunately, my father had a burglary at his home while he was at my mother's home, and it was uninhabitable. Glass everywhere. um, quick job, inside job of some sort, but that's neither here nor there. So that kind of threw a wrench in my plan. So I had been kind of starting to crack under pressure. You've seen the tears, you've seen the sadness, and it's all normal. It's all normal. I'm not ashamed of it. But these videos from this point forward will be more upbeat. Well, hell, who knows what they'll be. I want to keep this as real as possible, but I also don't want anyone thinking that this is the end of the world. It could be worse. So cut to where we are now. All that aside, I've gone to the county office. They were able to give us money for hotels, to find a hotel for 7 days. And they allotted us a budget of $85 a night. Now that does not get you very much. It really doesn't, especially if you want to stay safe or clean. If you want to make sure that the building is not, is safe for a teenage young lady. And that's my biggest concern. She's a teenager, and men are sexually attracted to her, and myself as well. And I don't want that kind of energy around when we're unsure of where we're going to be laying our head. So we looked at hostels. Was going to be an amazing option for us. That would have been perfect for us. There are plenty of hostels in Los Angeles, downtown, Venice, Santa Monica. They're everywhere, and they're very affordable. The only problem is she's 17. She's 17. So she's not an adult. They won't allow a 17. When you're with a minor, you have to have a private room, it makes sense. But at that rate, it's like between $139 to $162 a night currently to do that. And that is just way more expensive than staying in an actual hotel. So thankfully, I have an app called Hotels Tonight. No plugs here, by the way. But I have been using Hotels Tonight for a long time, maybe 3 or 4 years. I had a stint where I traveled with a girlfriend and her daughter as like their personal nanny. My daughter would come too, so we'd go back and forth to New York, and we'd be staying at different hotels in Vegas, New York, and we were traveling crazy. So I built up a certain level of perks with this app, and I was able to find a hotel for $100 a night. $100 a night. And this is with their discounts. So you may not always find that, but if you use these apps and, even just people watching, if you can build something to where you can get discounted hotels and things like that, use that to your advantage. I'm trying to do things a little differently this time. I'm going to try to make this as comfortable as possible until we find something permanent. Until my daughter graduates and we can really go ahead and just leave the United States and go to Mexico and backpack for the year like we planned to do last year. So whatever comes first. I did mention before I have a GoFundMe started. I will put the links wherever you want. Feel free to donate or not, or share. I just want people to see kind of the ups and downs of what's going on. So we're here in this hotel. This hotel is choice. I could live here. I could totally live here. This is the bathroom. This is an amazing shower. I've got pictures. I'm going to post them for you somewhere in the vicinity, probably on my TikTok, definitely on my Instagram, and this will most likely be on YouTube. And I will show you a video and pictures of the room. The room is dope. I couldn't have asked for anything better, and it's more convenient. And because this is considered an off season, they upgraded us from just a standard king room to two queens. So we are here for 4 days. Hopefully I can get more. I'm gonna hustle and see if we can get the extra 200, because what happens is, because the county is giving us the money, we have to give them a receipt. and we have to show that we've used that money. And I've only used $482 of it so far for this space. So I still have a bit left for, to spend, and I'd like to spend it because if I don't, then they won't give us anything else. And also, the duty for this, the trade-off is that I have to do and report certain things. I have to give them a receipt for this so they know that we've spent the money on it because we need it. I also have to do a home search for temporary shelter. I mean, this is temporary shelter. I do have to do a home search for, I have to do a home search. And I have to prove that I'm doing the work, which is going to, not hard at all. I'm doing the work. But I have to, fill requests for verification. These are things, please excuse my nails, y'all. I had a meltdown and I had to cut them because they kept popping off and because of moving and everything. And I'm going to get them fixed. Hopefully I can afford that. Whew, it's a lot of information. But we're doing well. I want to talk real quick. So this is where we're staying here. It's gorgeous. I will post pictures. I will give you a quick little, just a glimpse of this room. It's got like great warm lighting and things like that. This room is choice. I swear, if we could live here for the entire 6 months, then I would. I'm a hotel whore. It just in my soul. I love it. And this big window that I get to look out of from this bathroom. I can see the city. It's super inspirational. You can see the kids going to school across the street. This hotel is the best. Anyway, enough about that. Mental health. My mood has been up and down. I am on medication for my disabilities, for my mental health issues, for complex PTSD, all of the things. And I have been off my medication now for almost 10 days. I accidentally put it, ADHD, I accidentally put it in storage, and I haven't been able to get to our storage. Today is the day that I get to go to storage and get what I need in order to keep my mind right, to keep me relatively focused, and to keep my mood as stable as possible. And so I don't have as many anxiety attacks. I'm having multiple anxiety attacks today. Now, this is not a bad thing, primarily, but I get into an occasional panic mode because I'm like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Where are we going to stay? How long is this going to last? My mind is racing at all times. So I can be a little difficult to deal with. I'm always talking. I'm always trying to make sure everything's okay. I'm cleaning like a crazy person because I respect the space, especially. My daughter and I are kind of clashing a little bit, just a little, because she's a teenager. That's what it is. And she's used to being stable, and she's unsure. And so, we're having a little bit of a scuffle. It's a lot different than it was when she was 12 and we were going through this, 12 to 14. And we were going through this originally. She's older now. She's got a life, so there's a lot of conflict, but it's not something that we haven't been working on. There's a lot of talks involved, and there's a lot of communication. There's been a lot of tears on my end and yelling on her end. But we're making it work. I've had to self-medicate at times. I've been smoking weed like a motherfucker, and I have been drinking a little bit more than I should. And today's the first day, I figure, is like the first day of our journey, really. All the other stuff we've helped along the way. Now it's just the two of us. And I feel like that is where we're really hitting the road. There's no support from family or friends. It's just the two of us, and we're making it work. And now is the time for me to stop all that, especially today, now that my meds are coming back. I won't feel like I need them or something in order to cope with what's going on. I don't. So this is the time. I'm feeling more energized, feeling very positive, and hopefully I have a new job opportunity. We'll see. I've been promised jobs before and it hasn't worked out, but we'll see, especially with my disabilities. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know this was kind of long. I'm going to try to do like 10-minute ones to 15-minute ones each time. If y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm kind of an open book. I don't hold back. Ugh. Voice cracking. What's going on here? There are no tears today. This is a good day, actually. Feel free to ask. I know I'm forgetting something. I'll figure it out. So I will see y'all soon, and stay tuned. Get to see some pictures and see how we're living, see how the suitcase was packed. My organizers did an amazing job with that. And I sit here and I talk about things like organizers and movers and storage, and there's a lot of people out there that cannot afford that. We have been extremely fortunate that I have been fighting this for so long that I've kind of had some time to prepare. But there are opportunities. Last time we had no time to prepare. None. We had zero time to prepare. We grabbed what we could. We were at my landlord at the time with the house we were at in Calabasas had thrown all of our stuff out onto the street. We couldn't take it with us. It was a tumultuous situation. Fire, it was craziness. So we had no preparation for it whatsoever. So we were stuck in a shelter, and it's on, and we were in the emergency room, they called it, and it was just the two of us in these two cots next to each other in a room that's wide open and only a fan or screen. Anybody could come in. The maintenance met, and there was a closet there that we got to use. We were in there for 2 weeks. And I promised her, and I hugged her in bed, and I'm like, we're going to be out of here. I swear, I promise I'm going to get you out of here. So that was our first stumbling into that. My daughter had never ridden a bus before. She'd never known anything outside of, our little insular suburban world where she went to school and mom picked her up, and, she did Halloween trick-or-treating, and she did all that stuff. And now to be thrust into this situation where she's like, we have to walk? Yes. Yes, my love, we have to walk. We have to take a bus. We have to take a subway. We have to do all these things. We have to go to the library. We have to use the computer at the library. We have to go to a food bank. We have all the things. She got a crash course. By the time we left, this girl, it was a road warrior. She could hop on a bus. She could go on a train. She was outrunning me. She zoomy. So now this time around, I'm more confident that we're going to be just fine. And it was so humbling to see this cute little mother and daughter. And I know they were homeless. It screamed it. For someone who was not paying attention, who's never lived this life, you would just think they were traveling. They were going to a zoo or something. But they both had their little bags, and they had little puppies with them, and they were just kind of hanging out. And when you see that in the middle of the day, when you think a little person should be in school, or you see that's probably someone who's unhoused. And what's happening is some shelters oh my God, I'm rambling, I'm sorry. Some shelters make you take your things with you every day when you leave. You have to be gone from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. So you take all of your things with you, and you roam the street. You do what you do. You go to places for aid, or you go to a park, or you go to school, whatever it is. Kids are going to school, and they have homeless coordinators in schools now that help children out. They give them food, they give them bus passes, they give them backpacks, they give them clothing vouchers, they give them everything. I mean, they give them serious help. They help them with emotional needs as well. So don't be too afraid. I know a lot of us right now are going through, especially with COVID, and a lot of people haven't bounced back. I'm one of those people that just hasn't been able to bounce back. I've deteriorated a bit more than I should have, but such is life. So we're doing the best that we can. We're keeping it positive. We're going to try and even get to a gym, because I think I can get a free gym membership if I really want to. This is the time that I'm using to better myself, to do it right, to not come from a place of fear, and to just take this head on, because after this, there is no going back. There's no going back to being houseless, unhoused ever again. There's no going back to being insecure with, myself or our financial situation. From this point forward, there's nothing but positive. This was my rock bottom. This is now, I'm humbled. This is my rock bottom, and there's nowhere to go but up from here. And if it's not my rock bottom, it's bottom enough. So y'all have a good day. I'm gonna have a good day. I'm gonna go ahead and start planning food for the day and dinner for when my daughter gets home. We're trying to keep our costs down to about $15 a day for food. So, and that's for both of us, so $30 a day if we can, maybe less than that. We're doing a lot of, we have food stamps from EBT, so thankfully, because we are out on the street, we can use the cash, our food stamp benefits, and not have to use the cash portion to go eat at like McDonald's or we try to do healthier options, and there's a lot of restaurants around that accept EBT. And if not that, we can go places like Trader Joe's, which have amazing cheap foods and relatively healthy, mind you. So we can go to Trader Joe's, and we can go and we can find a microwave, or we can get some hot water from somewhere. We can eat. We can do this the right way. It's not the end of the world. And we're making our place comfortable wherever we land. We brought our own blanket, and we're making it work. But we'll talk more about that later. If you guys want to know more about how we prepared, or how I prepared for this situation as best as I could, please feel free to let me know. Comments, questions, all sorts of things. This has been 22 minutes. It's not bad. I thought I would do 10, 15, but 22 minutes is not bad. But yeah. I'm gonna enjoy doing it this way for the next 4 days and see. This backdrop is amazing. I'm stunned. But anyway, have a great day and take care of yourself. Please. Sorry for all the ambient noise. It's the city. But take care of yourself.